In the last video, we did the stationary tubes of the elevator. Next, I'm going to do this second stage up. So, as you may have come to expect, we are going to overextend the elevator first. So we'll go back to, I think we had 16 inches here. Yes, 16 inches breaks the stages apart at 22-inch span. Okay, so we've broken the stages apart again. And now we will make a new part and begin by inserting our template part, so our sketch. We need the unabsorbed and absorbed sketches from the part. We do not need to locate it. Just begin. Okay, so our part is in, all of our reference geometry is there. Now insert part, and we will bring in our first tube. Solid bodies, material, and locate with the move copy feature. So similar to before, we're going to take our front plane and stick that to a tube. That looks good. Add. We'll use the end of this tube over here. That's backwards. Add. And we'll use the bottom line of this tube here. All right, that looks good. That matches what we have. Then we need to cut the tube down to length. Come over here, click on the end face, extruded cut, convert entities, exit sketch. We still have up to vertex selected from the previous time, but if not, you'd come into here, up to vertex. And this is the point. Yeah, that makes the tube the right length. Check. We'll do the same thing for these upright tubes, and then the back bar will be done the same way as the back bar down here. Insert part, tube. Do not need material. Okay. This face to the front plane. Flip. This edge to this edge, and this edge to this edge. Extruded cut on this face, convert entities, exit sketch. Zoom out, find our point to cut to, check. Insert part, tube, check. Front plane, this plane, flip so that it aligns with the other tubes. Add this edge to this edge. Add this line to this edge. Add. Okay. This face, extruded cut, convert entities. Exit sketch. Cut to this point. And now we're on this back bar again, the second stage back bar. So, insert part, tube. Do not need the material, it's already in. Go. We need this face here, different face this time. This face parallel to the front plane. Add. This line coincident to this face. Add this line coincident to this face. Add. this point, you could do the line or the point, coincident to this face. And that has put it in the right place. You can see this rectangle is around the tube. Add that, check. Come over to this face, extruded cut on this face, convert entities of this face. I didn't select it first, and so it deselected it when I did the extrude. Exit sketch. And then choose this vertex here. Okay. Now we have our back bar there. Let's go ahead and save this assembly. This will be the Thrifty elevator middle tubes. Actually, lower stage tubes. Let's call it lower stage. We'll go stationary, lower stage, upper stage carriage. And now, if you wanted to do an assembly, we could start on that. So, new assembly. Let's insert the stationary tubes to start with. And we could insert them at the origin, but actually, well, I'll insert this at the origin, but you'll see the origin is going to be over here. And we don't really want that. We would much rather have the origin be over here. So let's right-click on this and say float. And we will re-choose the front plane can be the front plane, that's fine. Mate. The top plane should also be able to be the top plane. So this is mating the assembly's top plane to the tube sketch top plane. But then the right plane should go to this point. Let's see if we have any movement here. Can this part move, or is it fully defined? It is fully defined. It cannot move. Good. Let's hide this sketch for a moment. And we can mate this conventionally, or we can mate it with the planes. So insert components. We'll do the lower stage assembly. Let's go ahead and, in this one, hide our sketches. They are getting in the way. So we could mate this with the front plane, just to the front plane of the tubes, and that will slide. Oh, that's interesting. Let's rebuild this. Okay, now it updated. So we could rebuild it that way, or we could build it with mates on here. I'm going to recommend that we do a front plane mate and we'll do maybe a width mate. So we'll mate the front plane to the front plane. We'll mate the right plane. Nope, not the right plane. Mate the top plane. We don't want to mate the top plane. The top plane is not going to be defined in this. We want to do the point in the sketch. This point here. To our right plane. Oops, wrong right plane. This right plane. And I think this will still leave this under constrained in 2 directions. Yep. So we need to make the top plane parallel to the top plane of the assembly. And now this should allow us to slide this. There we go. That looks good. It will hide some sketches here. So there you go. Our mini elevator here. And this assembly may explain, this movable assembly, is the reason why we are going to all of this trouble to do these layout sketches. Because the goal is to be able to move this so that we can see the robot move, so that we can look at it in different configurations. But if you do that with an assembly and you transfer assembly features across, the assembly is prone to explosion when you move it apart, because any features that are in the assembly, when you do that, it would say, for instance, oh, if you're cutting a hole from this piece to that piece, or you're referencing something there, as soon as that assembly updates, it'll cut a hole in the wrong place in your next part. So it's important not to do that, and instead put the features that define the elevator in something that does not change with this assembly. This assembly does not, the pieces do not depend on this assembly, it's the other way around.